This is Tao, the undivided, the great one. If the life energy flows downward, that is without let or hindrance into the outer world, the anima is victorious over the animus. No golden flower is developed. If energy flows downward and outward, your energy becomes reproductive, sexually reproductive. A great phenomenon. That's how you are born. That's how everybody else was born. A Buddha, a Jesus, a Krishna. If energy flows downwards, it creates new people, new forms for God to embody. But the golden flower does not bloom. You produce somebody else, a child, a beautiful child. Life continues. Life goes on moving, remains flowing. But golden flower cannot bloom this way. How the golden flower blooms? If the life energy is led through the backward flowing process that is conserved and made to rise instead of allowed to dissipate, the animus has been victorious. These are the two possibilities. Energy flowing downward becomes sexuality. Energy flowing upward becomes spirituality. Energy flowing downward is reproductive. Energy flowing upward is creative. Energy flowing downward creates new life. Energy flowing upward gives you a new birth. That's what Jesus means when he says, unless you are born again. Not from a father and mother, but by your own upward movement. Unless you become a Dvija, a twice born, you will not enter into my kingdom of God. The golden flower is waiting at the highest peak of your being. In the yoga map, it is called Sahasrar, 1,000 petaled lotus. It is the 7th chakra in your head. The lowest is the sex chakra, Muladhar, and the highest is the 7th chakra, Sahasrar. From the lowest chakra, energy moves downwards, creates new life. If the energy is conserved, helped to move upwards, it reaches one day to the Sahasrar, and the golden flower blooms. Of course, it needs energy. It is there only as a potential, as a possibility. Unless energy becomes available for it, it will not become actual. It is like you don't give water to a tree. The tree is waiting. The water is not coming. The green juice is not flowing upwards. How can it bloom in 1,001 flowers? Impossible. It will remain sad. It will almost remain dying. It will be a slow suicide. By and by, the leaves will also wither away. By and by, the branches will die. And ultimately, the roots. It needs constant flow of energy upwards. Just as the green sap moves into a tree, man is also a tree. And this is not a new symbol that I am using, man as a tree. It is one of the most ancient symbols. It has been used in the Jewish mystical schools. It is called tree of life. Just as Buddhism has reached in its crescendo in Zen, and Islam in Sufism, Judaism has reached in its ultimate peaks in Kabbalah. Kabbalah says that man is a tree, and it needs great energy for the flowers to bloom. But remember, to conserve energy does not mean to repress energy. That's where many people become misguided. To conserve energy does not mean to repress. The processes are absolutely different. Repression means you are continuously repressing at the lowest center. And if it becomes too much at the lowest center, it will create perverted sexuality. If you don't allow it in natural let go, and the energy accumulates at the lowest center too much, it will find some way or other. It can become perverted. It will become perverted. It will create pathology. Ask the psychiatrists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, they say out of 100, 95% psychological cases are because of sexuality. Somewhere or other, sex is involved. This is too big a number, 95%. And the people who never go to the psychiatrist and the psychoanalysts, they are not in a better position either. Everybody is suppressed. Suppression is not transformation. Let it be understood once for all. Repression can never become a transformation. And what is transformation? And what is conservation of energy? Conservation of energy is a meditative process. It is not moralistic. I will suggest you a small method that will be of immense help. It has been used by Taoists down the ages. It is given only from the masters to the disciples. That's why it has not been written in the books. But now the time has come, it should be given. Because now millions of people are working on their spiritual search through the books. Masters are not so much available either. This is a simple method of transforming your energy and leading it upwards. And always remember, Tao methods are very simple. So don't think how such a simple thing can be of such great importance. Practice it, experiment with it, and you will know. The process is at least twice a day. The best times are early in the morning, just before you get up from your bed. The moment you feel you are alert, awake, do it for 20 minutes. First thing in the morning, don't get up from the bed. Do it there, then and there, immediately. Because when you are coming out of the sleep, you are very, very delicate, receptive. When you are coming out of sleep, you are very fresh. and the impact will go very deep. When you are just coming out of your sleep, you are less in the mind than ever. Hence, some gaps are there from which the method will penetrate into your innermost core. And early in the morning, when you are awakening, and when the whole earth is awakening, there is a great tide of awakening energy all over the world. Use that tide. Don't miss that opportunity. All ancient religions used to pray early in the morning when the sun rises. Because the rising of the sun is rising of all the energies in existence. In that moment, you can simply ride on the rising energy wave. It will be easier. By the evening, it will be difficult. Energies will be falling back. Then you will be fighting against the current. In the morning, you will be going with the current. So the best time to begin is early morning, immediately. Just when you are half asleep, half awake. And the process is so simple, it needs no posture, no yogasana, no bath is needed, nothing. You simply lie down as you are lying down in your bed, on your back. Keep your eyes closed. When you breathe in, just visualize great light entering from your head in your body. As if a sun has risen just close to your head. Golden light pouring into your head. You are just hollow. And the golden light is pouring into your head. And going, deep, and getting out from your toes. When you breathe in with this visualization, and when you breathe out, visualize another thing. Darkness entering from your toes. Great dark river entering from your toes, coming up and getting out from the head. A slow, deep breathing. So you can visualize. Go very slowly. And just out of sleep, you can have very deep and slow breaths. Because the body is rested, relaxed. Let me repeat. Breathing in, let golden light go into you from your head. Because it is there. The golden flower is waiting. That golden light will help. It will cleanse your whole body and will make it absolutely full of creativity. This is male energy. Then, when you exhale, let darkness, darkest you can conceive, like a dark night, river-like, coming from your toes upwards. This is feminine energy. It will soothe you. It will make you receptive. It will calm you. It will give you rest. And let it go out of the head. Then inhale again and golden light enters in for 20 minutes. Early in the morning. And then the second best time is when you are going back to sleep in the night. Lie down on the bed. Relax for a few minutes. When you start feeling now you are wavering between sleep and awakening, just in that middle, start the process again. And 20 minutes. If you fall asleep doing it, it is the best. because the impact will remain in the subconscious and will go on working. And after a 3-month period, you will be surprised. The energy that was constantly gathering at the Mooladhar, at the lowest sex center, is no more gathering there. It is going upwards. Just the other day, somebody has asked a question. He says that he has seen most beautiful women around here that he has ever seen anywhere else, but they are non-erotic. Why it is so? It is so. His observation is right. If you meditate deeply, you will become non-erotic. You will have a different kind of beauty, but it will not be erotic. It will start having the flavor of spirituality. It will start having the subtleness of grace, not the grossness of sexuality. Sex is grass, because it is the lowest rung of your ladder. As energies move upwards, a totally different kind of beauty and grace arises in you, which is divine. You become less and less of the body and more of the spirit. If you do this simple method for 3 months, you will be surprised. There is no need to repress. Transformation has started happening. A man who holds to the way of conservation all through life may reach the state of the golden flower. And if you can go on doing this for your whole life, one day it is going to happen. The Master Luther says your whole life, so that you remain patient. It can happen any day. It can happen today, or tomorrow, or day after tomorrow. It depends with what intensity, with what sincerity you work for it, with what longing, what totality you go into it. And the day the golden flower blooms in you is the day of Buddhahood. You have attained the greatest treasure there is. A man who holds to the way of conservation all through life may reach the stage of the golden flower, which then frees the ego from the conflict of the opposites, and it again becomes part of the Tao, the undivided, the great one. From Tao to Tao, from one to one. As Plotinus says, the flight of the alone to the alone.